What's up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome to the Warframe video. So, I know it was supposed to be Helminth Trend today, but I was having so much fun with this build on stream that I had to put up the video immediately. And this is not just going to be a build video for Helminth Inaros. This is a full loadout guide for his insane dog as well. We got Buck Fungi, the actual Kubrow, been with me since Curse of Osiris, and we're going to go over all the stuff to make your Kubrow insane, make your Helminth Inaros really tanky, and everything in between. We'll be AoE nuking. We got Mark for Death from the dog, pretty much. And I'm not running Mark for Death myself, so there's some stuff going on here. Before we get into it, though, make sure you sub to this YouTube channel if you've not already. Hit that bell for notifications so you know when all the videos go up, because they go up every day. And we got crazy builds all over the place. So let's get into it. This one's really fun. So what we're doing today is we're basically going to be using the Kubrow, and we're going to be using Helminth Inaros to actually do some stuff and become even more tanky than you'd ever imagine Inaros would be. Also, our dog is going to one-shot heavy gunners. Okay, it was a two-shot there because it didn't crit. But there you go, a two-shot on a level 175 heavy gunner with a dog. And it actually can do even more damage than that if you roll properly. So, let's go over everything. So, first off, the ability we've subsumed for Inaros is Warcry, which comes from Valkyr. And there's a couple things you want to keep in mind with this one. It's going to give you an armor increase, which scales with power strength. It's going to give you a speed increase, which scales with power strength. So that's going to apply to you. It's going to apply to your teammates that you hit with the radius when you cast it. It's also going to apply to your companion if you cast it on your companion. So that will make the dog attack faster. And if you saw how much damage that dog was doing, it's pretty nice to give him an increased attack speed. Also going to make the AI less stupid. So you got that from Warcry. The version that is subsumed over it has diminished increases on speed, but we don't really care about that. It's more about the armor, to be honest. And if we take a look at the build on Inaros, we actually have the Mecha set bonus. And that's what this is going to do. It's going to make it so the Kubrow is going to mark an enemy every 15 seconds. And if you kill that enemy, all status effects on the enemy are going to be transferred to enemies in the area 30 meters. So if you take off any of these mods, the cooldown becomes super long. So I definitely recommend running all four of the mods. There's 2 on the Kubrow and 2 on the Warframe. On Inaros, it's totally fine. And actually, this mod right here, Mecha Pulse, is an extremely valuable slot on Inaros. So if you are going to do this, I'd say you might even want to consider it umbra forma. But we're going to be running Eternal War, which is the augment mod for Valkyr's ability. And you can run an unranked version, it's fine. What this will do is when you use Warcry, it will increase the duration of it every time, or rather it will refresh the duration of it every time you get a kill on an enemy. 1.25 seconds with an unranked version. And it scales the duration too, but we have no duration mods in here because there's not enough room. And if you wanted to put on Negation Swarm, I'd highly recommend putting Negation Swarm on here. You're going to have so much armor and stuff that you can just take off Gladiator Resolve and just have Negation Swarm in that slot. I did not do that in the gameplay, so we'll show the video I have in the gameplay, but I would highly recommend Negation Swarm in the future. We've got Arcane Grace, which will give us healing over time, as long as we're getting shot, and you're going to get shot a lot, and Arcane Guardian for even more armor. We have so much armor with everything stacked up that we have about 94% damage reduction when things are going properly for us, and that's going to be because we have the mod Mecha Pulse. And there's a little thing about Warcry I want to tell you after we go over Mecha Pulse's description. So, killing an enemy that's marked with a dog, there'll be a little dog icon above their head when this happens. You kill the enemy with a dog icon above their head, and depending how many enemies are in the radius for when they're dead, you get 60% increased armor for your frame for 20 seconds. So, you'll see in the gameplay, that's like thousands of percent extra armor. I had a 1600% increase in the beginning of this mission that I'm going to be showing here on Steel Path Mod. And what you want to do is you want to get that huge armor increase, you want to get Arcane Guardian procced, and then you cast Warcry. Because what Warcry does is that 83% increase in armor, it's going to snapshot how much armor you have when you cast it. So when I have this crazy increase here, crazy increase from Arcane Guardian, you cast it then, and then you're going to get 83% increase on top of that. And then that's what it'll increase by permanently. So definitely want to use that at the proper timing. And it'll also make it so it increases the armor for your dog, because we have the Link armor mod on our dog, giving him a bunch of armor. As you can see, our dog has 12,000 health. And then it has 289% status chance, which is why he's doing crazy one-shots. That's going to be coming from the Mecha Overdrive mod, which is actually going to take your modded status chance for your primary weapons. We actually have a stat stick for our dog. You ever heard about a dog stat stick? Well, we got that today for you. So, super high status chance on our primary weapon. We don't actually use the primary weapon, so that's totally fine to have a stat stick there. We'll only be using our secondary and our melee for damage here. And then we've got Mecha Recharge, give the dog increased shield regen, makes it shield getting really, really good for the dog. The dog will basically never die. And we've got Fetch for picking up the loot. And you can use, honestly, any Kubrow for this. You can actually, if you were to go max damage, you would take Hunter Synergy and you would replace the precept mod. So the only precept you would have would be Fetch. So you put Hunter Synergy there, give the dog increased crit chance, going to make it so you have more consistent crits. And that's also going to go off your modded critical chance of your primary. So the rest of this stuff is just to make it more tanky. Bite and Maul to make it do more damage. Primal Instinct to see the loot on the map and the enemies. And then Prime Pack Leader, whenever you hit an enemy with your melee, the dog will get healed. And we've got the Invisible Dog. I don't remember what they're called, but yeah. Alright, so that's the frame build. Like I said, we're running Warcry, and then here's the stat stick for our dog. We've got the Kuvacomb, which is the highest status chance of any primary. And we have pretty much a meme build here with every status chance mod for shotguns. We've got Hunter mods, which will mean the companion will deal increased damage to enemies to slash on them, so that's really good for the slash procs on the dog. It's going to have guaranteed slash procs already, so basically 50% increase to the dog's damage. You got a status chance Riven. You can do this without a Riven. It's less status chance for sure, but yeah, for the purpose of the video, I showed it with a Riven, so I'm going to show the build I used in the video. Then we've also got, for the other weapons, we've got the Kuva Nucor with a 60% heat roll. I like the 60% heat roll Kuva Nucor the most. A lot of people like the magnetic one and the other ones like that. So, we've got a Punch Through Riven. If you don't have a Punch Through Riven, just put Seeker in that slot and you're fine. Basically modded for damage and viral heat. Most people don't run damage mods in their Kuva Nucor, but I do just because I like to kill stuff with the Kuva Nucor at the same time and eject magazines so you never actually have to reload. And that's all the stuff there. And then our melee of choice, since the enemies that we kill with the Mecha set bonus will transfer the status procs to enemies in the area, we've got a a Slash and Toxin built on the Pangolin Prime, with Slash being weighted higher than Toxin. So what this will do is basically it's going to make it so it's crazy high Slash procs that will get transferred to every enemy in the area, and there you go, they're all dead. So let's get into the gameplay. Lots of melees will work for this, and as I said, I do not have Negation Storm equipped in this gameplay. I would recommend, if you are someone with an Umbra Inaros build, you should try this out for sure. So, yeah, if I ever put an Umbra forma Inaros, I will do a new video on this, but currently it's just Helminth Inaros, not Helminth Umbra Inaros. But like I said, when we did the math on stream, when I had 1600% increased armor and then did the snapshotting, it was about 53,000 armor, which is going to be around 94% damage reduction on your health. And on top of that, as I showed the build, we have adaptation as well, which is another 90% damage reduction. So they're going to do like 1 damage to us, pretty much, per shot. And then we have Arcane Grace, so we don't even need Hunter Adrenaline on here because we're not going to be taking enough damage to proc Hunter Adrenaline. And although also with Eternal War, you never need to really recast your Warcry. So it's really, really good. It's really, the dog is a tank god. We're a tank god. We'll get one shot eventually, I guess. If you're like staying in the mission for like, I don't know, like all day. But I mean, most people don't really do that. So yeah, this is tank god status in normal missions and in Steel Path mod. These guys usually do a lot of damage, and we're not using any shield getting here. So I was very impressed with this, and it made me actually kind of want to do an Umbra form on Inaros. But I'll have to think about it a little bit more. As you saw right there, I don't know if it was pretty quick right there. The dog did mark the enemy, and I killed them with the slash proc and the viral heat. It basically was a 30-meter AoE nuke on the enemies because of the mecha bonus. So I highly recommend running the mecha bonus with this setup. Of course, you don't need to. If you prefer to run a Smita Kavat like I do most of the time, that's totally going to be up to you. The Smita Kavat will not be one-shotting, but it will be pretty tanky too, because you can just use Warcry on it, use Link Armor, Link Health, all that stuff, and it will be fine. It won't do much. It'll just give you buffs. The dog is killing enemies here, so like I said, the AI is pretty bad, so it's up to you. And of course, there's also Sentinels. The Sentinel's gonna die though. In this situation, the Sentinel's gonna die. So yeah. One thing that's kind of annoying about this, like I said, you want to snapshot your armor when you cast Warcry. If you walk into another fire bubble, like I do eventually in this gameplay, it's gonna take away your snapshot armor value. You're gonna need to recast it. So if that does happen, you get nullified and you lose your huge armor buff. Just wait until the dog marks an enemy, and then get the huge damage, huge armor buff again, and then recast Warcry, so you can get your buff again. Because if you just cast it when you don't have anything up, it's not going to be as big as you want. Like as you can see right there, 1140 percent increased armor. Percent. Yep. And it's usually, it's not, maybe not usually. In the Steel Path, you have max player spawns solo, so that's why we're getting huge armor values right here. It's not always going to be like this, but it was like this in this mission. So, yeah, I definitely highly recommend this to you guys, especially if you're an Inaros fan. There will be more videos coming out. If you guys have any suggestions for Helminth videos you would like to see, or maybe just like videos in general you'd like to see. I know someone wanted an Atlas video yesterday. Definitely got some thought processes going for the Atlas video. Helminth Trin was the winner of the poll on the community post, so I'll definitely be doing that tomorrow. And then, yeah, I want to get this one out right away, guys, because it was so much fun, and I definitely, like, it was the highlight of the stream. We did like an 8.5 hour stream, and this was the highlight of it. Getting all this stuff put together, the stat stick for the dog, all this stuff. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys next time. Hopefully you had fun in this video. It's not broken. It's a lot of DR and it's a lot of tanky stats, but yeah, it's just Inaros things. Okay, at least Inaros can help his teammates now because he has Warcry. So I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.